In the winter of 1347, in the bustling city of Genoa, Italy, an invisible enemy began a silent march across Europe. Ships arriving from the eastern Mediterranean carried more than spices, silk, and luxury goods. They carried the plague. What started as a few isolated deaths soon became a terrifying epidemic, altering the course of history forever. At the center of the story was Matteo Rossi, a merchant and civic official who had spent decades navigating the political and economic networks of the city. Matteo noticed the first unusual signs: sailors feverish and covered in black pustules, traders collapsing in the marketplace, and funerals being held at alarming rates. The disease moved faster than anyone could comprehend, spreading from port to port, street to street, home to home. Unlike the great armies of Europe, no amount of military strategy or fortress walls could stop this enemy. Matteo's role became both civic and humanitarian. He organized quarantines in the docks, ensuring that ships suspected of carrying the disease were isolated. He worked with physicians who were as desperate as they were untrained in the nature of the infection. He kept meticulous records, noting patterns of transmission, the symptoms' progression, and possible treatments that often included herbs, fumigation, and isolation. Yet fear, superstition, and panic complicated every effort. Citizens fled the city, abandoning families and businesses. Riots erupted when quarantine orders prevented merchants from trading. Religious processions claimed divine punishment, and Matteo had to navigate not only the plague but the fragile social order. Over the months, the city of Genoa lost a significant portion of its population. Matteo himself survived, but he witnessed the breakdown of normal life. Families wiped out, homes abandoned, trade routes interrupted, and entire neighborhoods emptied. From this devastation, however, lessons emerged that would shape public health and civic administration for centuries. Quarantine, city sanitation, and the importance of observation and record-keeping became part of a framework for understanding epidemics. Matteo's journals, preserved in part, detailed how careful coordination, transparency, and civic responsibility could mitigate some of the worst consequences of a pandemic, even when knowledge of disease was limited. While death was inevitable, preparation, structure, and resilience made a profound difference. The plague reshaped Europe economically, socially, and politically. Labor shortages led to higher wages for survivors. Entire feudal systems were challenged. Art, literature, and science reflected the trauma and understanding gained from surviving one of history's deadliest pandemics. This story is not only about disease. It is about human adaptation in the face of overwhelming odds. Matteo Rossi, an ordinary citizen in extraordinary circumstances, illustrates how courage, observation, and organization can impact history even when the enemy is unseen. Europe would never be the same. Cities learned, governments adapted, and human understanding evolved. And while the Black Death is remembered for its staggering toll, the lessons of preparedness, civic duty, and knowledge-sharing echo across centuries, offering guidance in every era of crisis, even into the modern world.